Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really plunging into a major challenge that's shaping the future of higher education in the U.S.
Yeah, it's something being called the Enrollment Cliff.
Exactly. And our guide for this exploration is a specific source we've been looking at, the Enrollment Cliff blog post.
That's right. It lays out some interesting perspectives on this demographic shift.
So our mission today is to really break down the challenge this blog post identifies.
And then look at a potential solution it puts forward.
Right. One involving online adult high school completion programs.
The blog post really suggests that, tapping into different student populations could be a critical strategy for colleges moving forward.
Okay, let's unpack this then. This term enrollment cliff, it sounds pretty serious.
It does.
What exactly is the core problem the Enrollment Cliff blog post is highlighting?
Well, the blog post uses that term to describe a projected decrease, a downturn in the number of traditional 18-year-old students graduating from high school.
A projected decrease? You mean fewer high school grads?
Yeah, across the country.
Huh. Is this just like a short-term thing, or?
No, the blog post indicates it's more sustained than that.
Yeah.
It suggests this decline is expected to continue through at least the year 2041.
2041, wow.
Yeah, so we're looking at a challenge that could span, a couple of decades.
That's a really long-term forecast. So how does this shift in 18-year-olds, how does that directly impact colleges? I mean, isn't that their main pool?
Precisely. That's the traditional pipeline. Higher education institutions have historically really relied heavily on that specific demographic.
Right.
So as that pool shrinks, there are just fewer potential students applying and enrolling in the traditional way.
Okay.
And the blog post points out this directly affects overall enrollment numbers.
Which hits funding, I imagine.
Critically, yes, it can impact the financial stability for these post-secondary institutions, the ones that depend heavily on tuition from those students. It kind of shakes the foundation of their usual operating model.
Right. Yeah, it's a fundamental challenge to how things normally work. So it makes sense then, if that traditional source is shrinking, institutions need to look somewhere else. Is this why the blog post argues that exploring alternative student populations is so necessary?
That's really the core argument the blog post makes about the challenge itself. To maintain enrollment levels with this decline predicted.
They can't just keep doing the same thing.
Exactly. They can't just rely on business as usual. The blog post suggests they need to broaden their focus, look beyond the typical recruitment strategies.
Consider different groups.
Different groups of potential learners, yeah. It frames this need as, a significant and unavoidable trend for the future of education in America. It's not just finding a few extra students here and there.
Strategic.
It's about strategically addressing a sustained demographic shift.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. If one tap is running low, find another source.
Right.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. The blog post doesn't just point out the problem.
No, it offers a potential solution.
Yeah, a specific type of solution. How can these online adult high school completion programs actually fit into answering this enrollment cliff challenge?
Well, the blog post positions these programs as maybe a key part of the answer.
How so?
They offer a structured pathway, an accessible one, for adults who, for whatever reason, didn't finish high school the first time around.
So they can go back online and get a diploma.
Exactly. Earn a high school diploma online.
Okay, but how does an adult getting a diploma connect back to the college enrollment problem?
Well, earning that diploma is like the first step. It's foundational.
I see.
It removes a really significant barrier that stops many adults from even thinking about college or being eligible for it.
Okay.
So the blog post highlights that these programs essentially open the door to college for a huge population.
A population that probably wasn't on a college's radar before.
Right. And the blog post makes an interesting point about the type of credential, too.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
It notes that this specific path, getting a traditional high school diploma online, might be particularly appealing to adults who prefer that over, say, getting a GED.
Interesting. A diploma versus a GED.
Yeah, the blog post doesn't really dive deep into why that preference might exist, but just acknowledging it suggests there's maybe a specific motivation there for some adults.
That preference is intriguing. So who are we talking about here? Like, how big is this potential group of adults without a diploma?
This is where the blog post brings in some pretty powerful data.
Okay.
It references Census Bureau data from 2021, and it states that an estimated 8.9% of the U.S. population aged 25 and older had less than a high school diploma or equivalent.
8.9% of adults 25 and up.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of people.
It really is. The blog post actually translates that percentage for us.
Hmm.
It's roughly 40 million adults in America lacking a high school diploma.
40 million. Wow.
Yeah,
40 million adults. That number, it really puts the potential scale into perspective.
it absolutely does. And this is the blog post's core point about the opportunity here.
Right.
It argues this represents a vast, largely untapped population pool.
Untapped potential.
Exactly. If they can be engaged, if they're provided a pathway like online high school completion,
Then this group could really help offset that decline in traditional grads.
significantly help offset it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the argument. Offset the decline caused by the enrollment cliff.
And like you said, not just offset it, but maybe even increase the total pool of students eligible for college by bringing in this whole demographic that wasn't really in the standard pipeline before.
Exactly. It's about, expanding the definition of who a potential college student is.
And actively looking for them.
Actively seeking out learners from different backgrounds, different life stages.
Okay, so the Enrollment Cliff blog post, it uses a specific example, right, to kind of illustrate how this works.
It does.
Tell us about Encora High School.
Right. Encora High School is presented as a concrete example of this type of online adult education program.
Okay.
According to the blog post, it was launched in 2022.
Pretty recent then.
Yeah, specifically to offer adults, aged 18 and older, the chance to get a traditional high school education, but entirely online.
And the blog post goes into some detail about the benefits, right? Things that make programs like Encora High School good for adult learners.
Yes, because adult learners often have very different needs, different constraints than, typical 18-year-olds.
Totally. Work, family.
Exactly. So the blog post highlights some key advantages designed with them in mind. First, there's accessibility.
Makes sense for online.
Yeah, it notes courses are 100% online, 24/7 access through their portal.
So true flexibility.
Crucial flexibility, yeah.
Right.
It lets students set their own schedules, work at their own pace, fit education around everything else.
That kind of flexibility, it really seems like a must-have for many adults going back.
Absolutely.
What about support? Learning online, especially if you've been out of school for a while, that could be tough.
That's a good point, and the blog post addresses it. It mentions Ancora High School includes academic support.
How does that work?
Through things called Student Success Champions, they provide academic advising, kind of help students navigate the program, stay on track.
Okay, like guidance counselors?
Sort of, yeah. And also course coaches who offer online tutoring if students need extra help with specific subjects.
Ah, so direct help is available.
Right. It shows a recognition that adult learners often benefit from that kind of guidance and direct academic help.
It sounds like they've tried to build a support system around the online format, not just provide the content.
That seems to be the idea presented.
What about the curriculum itself? Is it, a full education?
According to the blog post, yes. Ancora High School offers a well-rounded education with a broad course catalog.
So standard subjects.
Yeah, the goal described is to give students a solid foundation across different subjects, preparing them not just for the diploma,
But for what comes next?
right? Whether that's college or maybe vocational training or just advancing in their career.
And what if someone started high school way back when but didn't finish? Can any of that old work count?
Yes, the blog post points that out as another benefit. Credit transfers.
Oh, that's huge.
Definitely. It notes that credits already earned from previous high school attempts might be eligible for transfer into the Ancora High School program.
So you don't have to start completely from scratch.
Right, and that can be a really big motivator. It could potentially speed up getting the diploma if you already have some credits.
Okay, so let's tie this back to the enrollment cliff again. The blog post argument is essentially, once these adults finish their diploma through programs like Ancora High School, they are now qualified, and they have this renewed chance to go on to post-secondary education.
That's the direct connection the blog post makes, yes. It presents graduates from these kinds of programs as a viable, significant pool of potential students.
Ready for college.
Eligible, potentially motivated, and ready to enroll, making them, as the blog post suggests, part of the answer to that looming enrollment cliff challenge.
All right, so we have this large group of adults, programs like Ancora High School, helping them get diplomas. What does the Enrollment Cliff blog post say colleges themselves should do? How can they actually integrate this into their strategy?
Well, the blog post suggests a pretty direct approach for colleges.
Right.
Partnering. Strategic partnerships directly with online adult high school completion programs, using Ancora High School as the example again.
Direct partnerships. How would that actually work?
Yeah.
And who benefits, according to the blog post? It mentions mutual benefits, right?
It does. It frames it as a win-win. So from the college or university perspective,
The post-secondary institutions.
right, the blog post explains this kind of partnership helps them lessen the impact of that projected enrollment cliff.
By giving them access to new students.
Exactly. Access to a new, qualified source of potential students they might not otherwise reach. They benefit from actively recruiting from this population.
Building a new pipeline, essentially.
Building a new source of leads. Yeah, to help maintain or even grow their enrollment.
Okay, so that's the benefit for the colleges. What about the adults who are graduating from the high school program?
Well, for graduates of Ancora High School, the blog post highlights that these partnerships would offer them clear pathways, clear opportunities to continue their education.
Makes the next step easier.
Yeah, it helps them advance their personal goals, their professional goals. The collaboration can really smooth out that transition from getting the diploma to actually enrolling in college.
So it creates a clearer, maybe more intentional pathway for these learners who've already shown initiative.
Absolutely. And the blog post uses the term direct pipeline.
Direct pipeline.
Yeah. These are adults who weren't necessarily in that traditional college recruitment world,
They weren't at the college fairs?
Probably not. They weren't coming through the usual channels. But through a partnership like this, they become visible, accessible,
And qualified.
and qualified candidates for college enrollment. It sort of recognizes their effort in finishing high school as a strong sign they're ready for more education.
It really seems to require colleges to maybe rethink their outreach a bit, look at demographics and pathways they might have overlooked before.
I think that's the implication. It's about recognizing the ambition and potential within that, huge segment of the population the census data pointed to.
Okay, let's do a quick recap then. The core argument we've explored today from the Enrollment Cliff blog post.
Sure. So the blog post clearly lays out the challenge. Higher education facing this impending enrollment cliff.
That projected decline in traditional high school grads over the next, 2 decades or so?
Right. And it argues this situation really demands innovative thinking, new strategies from institutions.
And it presents one such strategy, integrating these online adult high school completion programs, using Ancora High School as a specific example, as a significant practical opportunity for colleges and universities to help stabilize their enrollment numbers against that demographic tide.
And importantly, the blog post also emphasizes the other side of it.
The benefit for the adults.
Yeah, that this approach simultaneously expands educational and career prospects for a really large group of Americans who currently lack that high school diploma.
Opening new doors for potentially millions.
That's the picture it paints.
Okay. And the Enrollment Cliff blog post actually concludes with some specific next steps, doesn't it, for anyone interested?
It does, yes. It includes an invitation, specifically, to learn more about the possibility of partnering with Ancora High School.
As a way to build this new pipeline of college students we've been talking about.
Correct.
And it provides the website for more information, which is https://www.ancorahigh.com.
That's the one listed, yes. https://www.ancorahigh.com/
And there's a phone number, too.
Yes, the blog post also includes a phone number, 866-592-6445 today.
Okay, 866-592-6445.
Got it. That's what's provided in the blog post.
So thinking about the scale here, that 40 million adults figure, and the long-term nature of the enrollment cliff, it leads to a final thought. What might be the broader implications if these kinds of partnerships between colleges and online adult high schools, like Ancora High School, really become a major widespread strategy?
Yeah, beyond just enrollment numbers.
Right. What other benefits or maybe even challenges could this create? Not just for the schools and the adult students, but maybe for the workforce or the economy as a whole. That's something for you, our listeners, to consider as you reflect on the analysis presented in the Enrollment Cliff blog post.
It certainly suggests the future of higher ed might involve reaching out to learners in ways that look pretty different from the past.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
We hope this look into the Enrollment Cliff blog post gave you some valuable insights to think about.
Thank you.